Get ready for the best cricket show in America. Full Toss, hosted by Amit Godbole, Amarnath and Atul Huq.
Hi folks, you're tuned into Full Toss on Radio Zindagi, WWRL 1600 AM in New York, WKXW 101.5 FM HD2. In New Jersey, radiozindagi.com is where you can listen to us online. Like us on Facebook. Phone number in the studio is 848-444-1600. That is 848-444-1600. This is your host, Amit, live from Houston, Texas, and live in the studios of Radio Zindagi in Edison, New Jersey. My co-host, my friend, my mentor, Amarnath, in the studio. Amarnath, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much, Amit. It's a pleasure being here.
Also in the studio, president of Edison Cricket Club, my friend, also the co-host on the show Full Toss, Atul Huq. Atul, welcome to the broadcast.
Good morning to you in Houston, Amit, and good afternoon to all our listeners in the East Coast. I'm happy to be here.
Behind the controls, my man Jitin Shukla. Jitin, welcome to the broadcast, and hopefully we'll talk via hand signals again. But gentlemen, we have a fantastic lineup today, jam-packed show. Plenty to talk about. Just recently concluded India and England, where England finally won their one-day match at the Eden Gardens. Over 50,000 people showed up to watch this one-day international match in Kolkata. Before that, India has already won the series 2-1. Also, Pakistan and Australia, where Australia also defeated Pakistan there. An interesting T20 match happening in South Africa, where Sri Lanka has defeated South Africa in that match. New Zealand and Bangladesh, they are also battling it out in New Zealand. By the way, this is a rain-affected test match. I don't expect a lot, but yes, that match is going on also. Another interesting match that is happening on a domestic circuit, gentlemen, is the Irani Trophy. Now, Irani Trophy is one of those tournaments that is very closely watched, and it's watched by the selectors. Anyone who performs at this particular tournament has a very good chance. I mean, that player has a very good chance of getting recognized and being seen. So plenty to talk about, gentlemen. I want to start off today our discussion on India and England, the third ODI that was just concluded at Eden Gardens in Kolkata. And in case if you missed it, here's a quick look at what happened. England won this match by 5 runs. And gentlemen, let's hear from both of you. Now, before I hand over the mic to you, here's a quick look at the scorecard. England scored 381, a loss of 8 wickets. India came very close. Thanks to Kedar Jadhav's inning, India came 316. And gentlemen, I hand over the mic to both of you now.
Well, listeners, I would like to actually say, at the beginning of the game, when the pitch report was being done, Sunil Gavaskar had mentioned the team winning the toss, batting first, will win this game. And that's exactly how it's scripted out. But having said that, I think the Indian bowlers were not able to generate the swing after the first 5 to 6 overs. They didn't have the pace to hit the deck.
Atul, I think Bhuvi started out really well in the morning,
like
right?
I said, in the first 5-6 overs. Yeah. Besides that, they were not able, because the difference in this game was the bowlers. Now, if you look at the physique of the Indian bowlers, they're not that 6-foot strong, armed shoulders guys hitting the deck all the time.
True.
But when England were bowling, they were able to get swing even in the middle overs. And that's because they were getting bounce and swing. They were hitting the ball hard on the deck, and the ball was swinging. So, and also the other factor was the pitch got livelier because of the dew. So therefore, I still feel if India had batted first, perhaps they would have had a better chance of winning. But having said all that, I think India played a phenomenal game. Came just so close, but still no cigar.
Amarnath?
Yes, it is a very exciting game. For Indian fans, it would have been a bit disappointing that when the game was right within their grasp, it slipped out, because when 16 runs was needed of the last over and the first two balls go for 6 and a 4, it looks like the game is over. But
now, Amana, 34th over, you had mentioned that chances of, now again, I know you're always busy with your statistics and everything.
Yes.
You had predicted that at 34th over itself.
Yes,
Because
India was
when you were doing your numbers that time.
by my fundamental analysis, it was clear by the 34th over, India was well behind the clock. So it would need a superhuman effort to catch up and win. Yes, there was a superhuman effort by Jadhav, but it just wasn't enough to put us across the line. So the model of mine gives me almost an 88% chance of predicting the winner at the 34th over. It doesn't mean it is always sure. There is a 12% chance of being wrong, but then in this case also, the 12% chance did not happen.
Now, Atul and Amana,
there's one very
Atul.
positive thing which has come out of this whole game, today's game. India still has a problem of the opening batsman.
Well, that's where my next question was going to be
that is a question mark still. The middle order or the upper order is okay. We've got Virat, we've got Dhoni, and they click, and you've got Yuvraj. But the positive aspect is now we have a rear guard action. The lower middle order is performing. Yadav, I mean, he was super cool, super cool, like Dhoni himself, and got the scores, got himself to 19, got India almost to win the game, and Pandya both batted very well. So we have a good rear guard action.
Yeah. By the way, Pandya not only batted well, but he had a pretty decent outing as a bowler.
True.
But
he was pretty economical. In fact, throughout the series, Pandya was pretty good.
I wouldn't say throughout the series, because I still think Pandya has not reached his peak as a bowler.
Yes, he mature.
He has to mature.
He's going to mature as
in every over. He'll bowl 3 beautiful deliveries.
I know.
And then he'll bowl 3 wides, or he'll try to bounce the ball and he'll get hit.
Well, that's
I'm
the same struggle.
I'm not talking about wides. Sorry, he'll bowl in the middle of the wicket, and those bounce. He's trying to bounce the ball. It just does not. He doesn't have the power to bounce it in the right fashion. The ball is bowled far too ahead, and batsman can play.
So for gentlemen, for both of you, I'm going to start with Amanat and I'm going to go to Atul. For the ODI series, your impact player.
The impact player for India, from the batting standpoint, I would say Kedar Jadhav, because he was the surprise weapon. He won the first match for India. Though Kohli was the man of the match, I would say he won the match for India in the first match. Third match, he almost pulled it off. He had a cameo in the second. So I would say the first impact player was Kedar Jadhav. The second impact player, I would say, is the return of Yuvraj Singh. I didn't expect him to come back with such a big bang. First match he had a bad miss, but second match he played a brilliant innings. Today also he played very well. But the unfortunate, we had all our players getting good starts today. They couldn't finish, and that is very important. Somebody has to finish.
Now, before Atul starts, Amanat, real quickly, the bowling department, if you can name a player for the series.
Bowling is a weak point for India. I am concerned about the bowling, especially during the death overs. Ben Stokes was feasting on India's bowling. Ben Stokes, India has to come up with a plan, not just for Ben Stokes, or they should come up with a plan. How are they going to contain from overs 41 to 50? We are leaking 100 runs during that time. It is terrible.
Atul?
I totally, as far as the bowling is concerned, I totally agree. Bowling is one of our weak points, and I totally agree with Amanat that over 40 to 50, it's a sad story for us. We are not able to stop the run flow at all. As far as the batsmen are concerned, I agree again with him. Yadav was the surprise package, and the second surprise package again was Yuvraj, because everybody was surprised, including myself, when the selectors had selected him. But if you have seen the game he has played in the last 2 games, he's gone back 15 years. At the age of 30, when you're making a comeback and you're playing as good as you have been playing 15 years back, that is fantastic. And he bought those days back too.
On this regard, I have to give a shout out to you. You're the one, Amit, who said that you have been following Yuvraj and you're not surprised by his selection.
No, I wasn't surprised, and I'll tell you why. Because I've followed domestic cricket very keenly. I have been following his domestic career this entire year, and he's been superb. I mean, the way he has played some of the shots, he has improved on his temperament. He's improved on his. I guess one of the areas that he has really improved, gentlemen, is his ability to really judge the ball at a very early stages. As soon as the ball is leaving from the bowler's hands, he's been able to judge it really clearly, and that shows in the way that he has batted in the whole series.
I liked his pull shots today. The way he was effortlessly swiveling and executing his pull shots against all the fast bowlers. Credit the English fast bowlers. They managed to bowl with a certain plan, and our batsmen were not able to make the final adjustments in the overs 47 and 48. They were able to score only 4 runs in one of those crucial overs.
Can I ask you gentlemen something? I know Atul broke this story some time back about the top 10 batsmen. Johnny Bairstow was included. Why hasn't been a case, with Bairstow, with such a phenomenal form, why does he find himself struggling to get a spot in the ODI side?
Josh Butler is considered a better bat than him for ODI and T20 kind of matches, whereas Bairstow is a test match batsman.
I agree with him. Exactly, because Butler has not performed this series, unfortunately, but he's a much better player technically and has scored a lot of runs for England, and hence, Bairstow finds it difficult to get into
I was a bit disappointed with obviously Alex Hales is now he was back home because of the injury, but throughout this series he didn't look comfortable at all, and that was just unfortunate because he's one of the very explosive openers for England.
True, Alex Hales, but then players of his category do go through up and down.
Well, friends, you're tuned into a Full Toss on Radio Zindagi, 1600 AM in New York, 101.5 FM, HD2 in New Jersey. Phone number in the studio, 848-444-1600, 848-444-1600. Gentlemen, I'm going to keep the phone lines open. If any of our listeners want to participate in the discussions that we're having, you're more than welcome to call in. You can ask both our experts in the studio question, and they'll try to answer that for you. Atul, you had a quiz a few weeks ago. Can we have a update on that?
I wasn't here last week because I was not keeping well, but the week prior to that, I had set up a question. Name the 7 players who scored more than 1,000 runs in Test matches last year in 2016, and we have a winner. The winner is Uday Patel from Hicksville, New York. Uday, if you're listening, please call us up or send us an email like you did, and we will send your gift to you. We have a new quiz this week, and it's an easy one. I'm sure people will be able to answer this. This week's question is, in the recent concluded ODI series between India and England, who was named the man of the series? It's an easy one, guys, so I expect a lot of people to call and send your emails to cricket1, the number 1, at fulltosscricket.com, or send your answers on our Facebook account, Full Toss. So we expect everybody to send their answers by this Friday, and we will announce the winner next Sunday.
Now, Atul, I have one quiz for our listeners to call in right now. If they want to participate in this quiz, they are more than welcome to do so. In the T20 World Cup that India won in South Africa, the very last ball, name the bowler who bowled that delivery to Misbah Ul Huq. And if you can name the person who caught the ball.
Interesting.
848-444-1600, 848-444-1600.
Guys, it's easy. It's an easy quiz. Come on, I expect people to call in. If you don't know the answer, just Google it. You'll get it.
You don't even have to Google. If you have seen the match, you know what I'm talking about. Once again,
it's a juicy full toss.
It's a juicy full toss, and that's exactly what it is. The T20 World Cup that India won in South Africa. Name the bowler who bowled that last delivery to Misbah Ul Huq and the player who caught that ball. 848-444-1600 is the phone number in the studio. Gentlemen, I'm going to direct your attention now to a topic of discussion regarding players from South Africa. Kyle Abbot has now followed this. So we do have a caller now. Go ahead. You're live on air. Your name and...
Hello?
Yes. May I have your name, please?
Patel Singh.
Patel Singh. From where are you calling?
Edison, New Jersey.
Edison, New Jersey. Go ahead. What's your answer? What is your answer for the question?
Caught the ball.
Who caught the ball?
Shishant.
Shrishant, you got it right.
Who bowled?
Who delivered who was the bowler?
This is a tough one.
Oh, that's a tough one. You got half right. Very good. Excellent. Keep listening. And I'm sure you'll find out.
You have to answer both the questions, the bowler and the fielder's name. Unfortunately, you were able to only give us one answer. So you are run out today, and hopefully you will be able to give us the answer next week. But keep calling in.
Well, once again, friends, let me repeat the question. T20 World Cup that India won. If you can name the bowler who bowled that last delivery to Misbah Ul Huq, and if you can name the player who caught that ball. 848-444-1600. 848-444-1600. Gentlemen, I was talking about South African players, especially Kyle Abbot now, who's also leaving for this county cricket. Now, what's going on here? If for those of us who are not following this story, Amarnath, if you can help us understand exactly what is happening here.
See, Kyle Abbott left South African cricket recently to join county cricket in England because of one provision called the Kolpak ruling. We have one more call. Hello? Yes? Hello, you're on there?
Your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hey, I'm Sean, calling from Hicksville.
Sean from Hicksville. Very good.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, the bowler was Joinder Sharma.
You got it.
And the fielder?
Srishant.
You got it.
Absolutely right, man.
Hicksville
Absolutely right.
Hicksville is right.
Sean, go ahead and send in Atul. Give Sean our email address so we can get in touch with him.
Yes, Sean, send us an email at cricket1, the number 1, and fulltosscricket.com. And also, what's your cell number where we can call you, or your telephone number?
No, not right now. We can't take this number on air right now. But Sean, go ahead and send an email with your details to this account, and we'll have something sent to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very
Send
much.
your telephone number on that email as well as your address.
Okay.
And thanks for calling, Sean, and have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you.
All right, friends. Yes, go ahead, Amarnath. You were...
The Kolpak is a ruling by the European Court of Justice which allows South African players to play in England without a big wait time. Now, because of Britain leaving the European Union, because of Brexit, the Kolpak ruling will no longer apply in the coming years. So that gate is shutting down, or that door is closing. Because of the door closing, a lot of the South African white players are trying to find a way to get to play in English county. Because there is currently a quota system in South African cricket where they are promoting black players. So with the result, some white players feel they may get left out and they want to explore the option of playing in England. That's why, because of this Kolpak ruling, Kyle Abbott and a few others are taking advantage and playing.
Riley Russo, who was doing so phenomenally, he was doing so well. Riley
Yes,
Russo,
exactly.
Russo has left.
So that's where it's a tough call. Everybody has to make their judgment in terms of whether it's worth staying for in South Africa and taking their chances. Because once you go to England and sign up as a Kolpak, you can't play for South Africa anymore. That is the main reason this is happening, because of Brexit.
Thank you so much, Amanat. Thank you so much for that interesting discussion. And friends, once again, you are listening to Full Toss on Radio Zindagi, 1600 AM in New York, 101.5 FM HD2 in New Jersey. You can download our app on your Android and your iOS devices. Like us on Facebook. RadioZindagi.com is where you can listen to us live online. Pakistan and Australia, gentlemen. That series is turning out to be so good.
Well, it's not so good for Pakistan and followers. Even the third match was very interesting, and it ran a familiar story in terms of if only their batting had come through. That was the sum and substance of that match. I wish Pakistan had shown a little bit more resoluteness in their batting. It was not impossible. They had a good start. I like the batting of Sharjeel. I remember I told you about
Yes, you were telling me last week also about Sharjeel.
Sharjeel knows how to play. And he again showed today how to play in this match. Unfortunately,
can somebody please explain to me why Mohammad Amir is struggling so much? Why he's such a phenomenal talent. I mean, of all the places I would have expected him to do so well in Australian conditions.
I think it's a matter of his physical fitness. I think he's still not physically there as of yet. That makes a big difference.
I totally agree with Amanat, because if you see the fielding of Pakistan and the fielding of India, there's a vast difference. And the reason why the Indian fielders are fielding so well, besides Ashwin, who's a little slow, is because of the physical fitness. The Indian team is getting a proper diet, and they are working out in the gym a hell of a lot. I think Pakistan has to follow suit. If you want your team to perform phenomenally well, you have to get physically fit in today's cricket.
Atul, you bring up a very good point about physical fitness. Just last year, the Pakistan team which went to England was much more fitter. And in fact, they used to do push-ups, if you remember.
Well, I think that was a gimmick, because after they won the game, they did a push-up to celebrate.
They were trained physically by the Pakistani army for a few weeks. They should have kept it going. That is the main point. They started celebrating and stopped working out.
Yeah, you're right. You have to continue that exercises. I know from various sources, Virat Kohli spends 2 to 3 hours in the gym, even though he's not playing, and also on the playing days. He maintains a very strict diet. He loves samosas, I believe. He's taken that off from his list. He does not drink any sodas, and all oily stuff is out of his diet, And he sticks to more vegetarian food and a little bit of a non-veg. But that is the dedication every cricketer requires in today's cricket.
Very well said.
Very well said. Now, gentlemen, another exciting thing that is happening this week, as both of you are also aware, I have finally got myself enrolled into a training class now. I've been wanting to do it. Three of us have played cricket extensively in our careers. We have played so much of cricket. There's one aspect of cricket that always fascinated me was officiating.
Umpiring.
And our good friend Deepak Katte and Ragoo and Mr. Green, they are holding they have an academy, USA or CCO, along with the ECB. And so finally I got myself enrolled, and I'm telling you, man, what an outstanding class, what an outstanding way of conducting such a training. And so it just started yesterday, and let me tell you something. Some of the things that I'm now finding out, even after playing for so many years, watching, commentating, it's a whole different ball game, and kudos to the officials. And you're talking about fitness. Even the umpires these days have to be fit as anything else. In today's match, if you saw Anil Chaudhary, he just dodged a bullet from Kedar Jadhav. So you have to be mentally as well as physically fit for this
not
position.
Kedar Jadhav. It was actually
Pandya?
No, Jadeja.
Jadeja shot.
Okay. Well, either Jadeja or Jadhav, one of them. One of them. But yeah, kudos to Deepak and Ram and their team, and looking forward for their class. And gentlemen, by the way, a lot of the people they were enrolled. There's one person from Dubai, Denmark, Albany, Tennessee, and I was listening to the conference call yesterday. There's so many matches being played in Tennessee and all over the United States. It is just heartening to see that.
No, it's good to know that cricket is active in almost all the states in America. I'm sure even in Alaska there are people playing cricket.
I'm sure. Now, gentlemen, I quickly want to get into, I know we have a few minutes left, Irani trophy. Go ahead, Atul, go ahead. Okay.
Go ahead.
So, Irani trophy, I brought it up. Gujarat is playing rest of India at the Brabant Stadium. Now, Atul, you're a Bombayite. Tell us a little bit more about Brabant Stadium. This stadium has got a lot of history.
Yes, it's got a lot of history. A lot of cricket has been played there. Unfortunately, they don't play anymore because the wicket is a pure batting wicket. And after Wankhede started, you know what I like about Brabant Stadium? It's got a beautiful restaurant. Yeah, you can have a meal and drink and still look at the match. And you know, it faces the glass faces the inner part of the stadium, and you can drink and have your meal and still watch the game.
Now here's a quick look at the scorecard. Gujarat scored 358 in their first innings, and the second innings 227 for 8, and rest of India were bundled out for 226. So Gujarat leads by 359 runs.
So Gujarat is still doing very well after winning the Ranji.
Gujarat is doing well. Pankaj Singh, by the way, has been making his case to come back to Indian team. He's been doing very well. He's a bowler. He's a tall, lanky bowler.
Yes.
And he's performing really well. Cheteshwar Pujara is leading the rest of India. Parthiv Patel, the Chota Chetan, Rocket Pocket, Pocket Rocket, whatever you want to call him. He's leading the Gujarat side.
Now, so then two Gujarat team members are on opposite sides. That is very nice.
Well, one place for Gujarat, one place for Saurashtra.
Yes.
No. Remember, Gujarat has three teams, Baroda, Saurashtra and Gujarat.
Yes, just like how Maharashtra has Maharashtra, Bombay and Vidarbha.
Correct. Absolutely right. Well, gentlemen, that's all the time we had left for today. You were listening to Full Toss and on 1600 AM in New York, 101.5 FM HD2 in New Jersey. RadioZindagi.com is where you can listen to us online. Like us on Facebook. Atul, before we sign off, real quickly, please go ahead and let our listeners know about the quiz and where they can respond.
Yes, this week's question, in the recent concluded ODI series between India and England, who was named the man of the series? Please send in your emails to cricket1, the number 1, at fulltosscricket.com. I repeat, cricket1 at fulltosscricket.com. Thank you, gentlemen, and we expect your answers by Friday.
Yes.
And before, Sean, if you're listening, make sure to go ahead and send that email out to us so we can send you your prize. Go ahead, Amanath.
Now that the ODI series is over, the T20 series is starting.
Yes.
I'm going to go out on a limb. T20 series, England may surprise India.
Atul said that from the very beginning.
I said in the T20 series, the shorter format. I think England's team has now understood the Indian pitches, the Indian batting. I expect them to come strong, and they might surprise India in this series.
So the first game is on Thursday, on Republic Day, is the first ODI. So, guys...
you mean first T20?
First 2020. Yes, so guys, get in front of your television sets early in the morning and watch the 2020.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming up and discussing the topic. And I want to thank all the callers who called in. Thank you for your participation. Stay tuned. Keep listening.
Full Toss. Back to the pavilion. Till next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern Time.